thank you. I would like to thank the festival for bringing me here from Belgium. I'm very pleased to be here. I thank you, the audience, to come and watch a movie you've never heard about and you will probably never hear about. Because no, what I'm saying is it's the first time it is screened in North America. It's a North American cinema. So I'm kind of stressed to know how it's going to be received by an American audience. We had pretty good reviews in France and in Belgium, but in Locarno, Variety wrote a review. I would advise you not to read it. So this was the first back. How do you say when you have a reaction after something? It's a feedback. The first American feedback wasn't that good, so I hope we're going to change the direction. And so, yeah, thanks a lot. I won't say anything about the movie before, because you're going to watch it, so. But I'll be there after for Q&As.
So make sure to have your questions for the Q&A after. He will be back.
So I hope you'll enjoy it or not. And you can tell me, because I'm not going to be here anymore. I'm leaving tomorrow.
Thank you.
So, before I open it up to the audience, I am greedy like that, and I'm going to ask a few questions myself. You are known as mainly a writer in the past, and this is your first feature film where you are the writer and director. Can you talk a little bit about that process and directing your first feature film?
Yeah, so this question comes often, but I'm not a script writer. I studied filmmaking and as a directing studies, and I started writing with a friend, which is Joachim Lafosse. You might have heard about him. One of his movies is going to be released here, and his last one is going to be released here, called Our Children. But I had the opportunity to start working with him and writing scripts, and then I wrote other scripts. But it just happened. I never wanted to be a script writer. It's just the opportunities came and it happened. But I always wanted to direct and to eventually make my first feature. So I don't separate things. I think that when you write a script, you also have to be a director in a way, because you write for a screen, so you have to visualize things. So we tend to separate functions, but especially here, and sometimes it's good here in the States. You have often a script writer and a director, and the director is not the script writer. In Europe, we often write our own script as director. I'm not saying it's better, but it's just the way it works. So I don't separate that much those two functions. So it was just natural to. Well, I'm not saying it was easy, but it was just natural to direct the first feature.
Well done. This, in my opinion, is a very beautiful area, and if I might get the pronunciation wrong here, but it's the Belgium Ardennes, is that how you say it? Ardennes.
That's where a lot of American soldiers were killed during Second World War. Yeah, it's very close to Bastogne. I don't know if you. Well, I didn't want to make it a sad thing, but it just so you know where it is.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area. Can you talk about the very rural? Can you talk about filming there?
Yeah, but I'm from there. I grew up there, and I wanted to. It's a non-moving road movie, but I wanted to give a sort of certain elements of the road movie, and for instance, the open spaces. And in Belgium, you don't have any other places to go if you want to have wide spaces. So, and I was born there, and I grew up there, and a lot of the story comes from my own experience or things I experienced there in this place. So it was just natural for me to shoot the movie there. It's half of it is shot in the Ardennes, in Belgium, and half in Luxembourg, in the Luxembourgish. Ardennes. I don't know how you say in English Luxembourgish. The adjective. Luxembourger. Oh, I like a burger. Yeah.
And since, good transition to the audience. Since we have some help from the audience, I would like some more help. How many, do you have any questions?
I was reminded of the movie Strangers in Paradise. Sort of the same road movie, the same, well, two characters, but this one was much warmer and the characters were far more likable and lovable.
Oh, you think so? Because I love Stranger in Paradise.
Oh, yeah. It seemed like the characters were far warmer and far more, likable, and I really cried for these guys. I felt for these guys with Strangers in Paradise. It's kind of like, oh well, okay.
Oh, you should see it again. Because they're really adorable in Stranger in Paradise. They're lost too, and especially the girl in Stranger in Paradise. We should watch it, no?
Continue.
No, but Jarmusch, I really appreciate his work a lot. I wouldn't compare what I do at all to what he does, but I like that kind of filming where he takes a certain distance and he has a certain irony towards the story and the characters. And yeah, so I like his work a lot. And I never thought about that movie in particular while doing this one, but it's true that I like this slow pace story, and without using it's anti-romanesque. Romanesque. Did you say that in English?
Novelistic.
Novelistic, like when you just make things a little bit bigger than they should be because you want some. And I can appreciate that, but I like this very slow tune.
Sure.
Would you say that?
Were there other films that inspired this film?
No, yeah, in a way, yes. There is one movie. I wouldn't say it inspired, but when I saw it while we were writing it, I really enjoyed it. It's a Scarecrow. Have you seen that movie? It's with one of the first Al Pacino. It's Gene Hackman and Al Pacino. It's a 70s movie about two guys on the road having this project to open a car wash and never doing it. So yeah, that was yeah. No, I never thought about any particular movie while doing it. I just tried to do one and see what happens.
I think you did well. Yes. You.
I'm wondering how long it took you to make this film, from, say, writing it to producing it, and also, I have 2 questions. The second question is, how many variations did you go through before you decided on this? Like, did you have alternate endings that you were thinking of, or did you always have that in mind?
Yeah, the time it took, it's hard to say because the shooting was short. We didn't have much money, so we had to shoot in. We shot for 6 weeks, I think, and the post-production was about classic. Anyway, so, but the writing was very long because I worked as a scriptwriter, so it took me a long time, and it took me a long time to write it because I realized, and I wrote it with 2 other scriptwriters at different stages of the writing. I realized that at the beginning it was a dramatic story because I was probably too close. I was too close to the characters. I felt the same kind of feeling of being lost. So I didn't have the right distance. And through the writing process, I realized that when you want to deal with that kind of characters, we don't have any real big issues actually. One of them is even could be called a petit bourgeois. You know, he has a lot of support, family support. He has money. He had a girlfriend. So when you want to talk about that kind of character, I realized that irony and distance was a good thing to put in the movie, to how to say, to tenderly make fun of them in a way. And it took me time to go there, because at the beginning I was too close. I didn't. I couldn't find this distance and irony that I think was very necessary. So there are some comedy elements. Well, there should be. I don't know if you laughed, but
There's a lot of laughter. A lot of laughter.
And I didn't. I never thought, oh, it's going to be a comedy. It's just happened to be I know, that's funny.
Oh, it's a very universal story, I think, in a lot of ways, that we either know people or have gone through these experiences ourselves. So, well done. Yes, we have time for a couple more. You right here.
Do you have any idea what your next project will be? Any new scripts or ideas?
No, I'm kind of lost. Because it's when you release a movie, this is the first time because it's the first one. You show it around and it puts you in a very bizarre reality. Like I'm in Seattle.
Welcome to Hell.
I've just arrived and I'm leaving. I'm jet lagged and I'm seeing people in the movie theaters, and nothing resembles more a movie theater than another movie theater. So I'm far away, but at the same time in the same place. And so, just what I was going to say. What was the question? Yeah, I think I need time to settle down. But yes, I have a few. I have ideas, and I thought I had something very solid that I had started before making this movie. But when you make a movie, you go somewhere else. You want to tell different things. And now what I thought was good, it's not that it's not good. It's I think I'm somewhere else, and I just need to settle down. And but I have a problem. I always want to tell stories about people who don't know what to do, and it's very difficult to go somewhere with that kind of characters because they just don't. They just don't exactly know what they want. So a story so it's difficult. And
so you're saying that this exact scene may be in your next film?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna tell the same story again and again. I would the next one. I would like to have a character who lives different life. It's like Zelig, you know, Woody Allen, but except it's real. And I think in today's life we tend to accumulate different lives, and because we are asked to be flexible and to change and we don't want to be framed in a certain type of life, and so I'd like to. They escape from that question of choosing things by running away, escaping in this fantasy of they're doing that because it's a way of opening every doors again to not fix themselves geographically, sentimentally, or professionally, but they don't. At the end, they don't do anything. But so I'd like to make a movie with someone who's afraid of the same things, but the reaction is different. He just does a lot of different things with different people.
No choice is every choice.
It would be like a TV series. How do you say series?
Series, yeah.
But in one episode.
All right, time for one more question. Yes, you up in the back. You've had your hand up.
Were they all professional actors, like the mom and dad and the father?
Yes, they were all professional actors with different experience. Some were more professional than the others.
They were just
Story.
wonderful. They were great.
Yeah, they all had experiences before at different extents, but yeah.
Well, thank you very much for being here and for taking our questions. You may be able to get a few more out of him if you come up and visit as well, but thank you all for being here as well.